Hey, Stub Clubbers, welcome back to another 25 Days of Disney. I'm Jennifer.
I'm Brian.
And we are here to deliver to you more about TV shows and movies. If you joined us yesterday, which it makes sense to put these back to back, yesterday we talked about movies that got their own TV shows. Now we're going to flip-flop that, and we're going to talk about Disney TV shows that got their own movies. It could be movies that went to the movie theater or made-for-TV movies.
Mm-hmm. And really quickly, I'm going to talk about George of the Jungle, even though it wasn't a Disney TV show back then, but it got 2 movies, and they're both amazing, and they need to be put on Disney Plus. I think the first one is. I don't know about the second one. Okay, go ahead, Jennifer.
But speaking of George of the Jungle, that commercial is so memorable because it's on so many of our dang VHS tapes that you had to watch the commercials, and then it was all about that girl. You're right, I love him. And then he's like, watch out for that train. He's swinging on the freaking bridge. And then you got the monkey gets shot by the dart and those guys.
We need to do a whole movie review on George of the Jungle for one of these 25 Days of Disney.
Do you want to? I'll watch it.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
I will watch it one night, and then we can do that. Well, okay, I will watch that. That will be my homework assignment given to me by Mr. Brian.
Mr. Brian. So I forgot that Proud Family got a movie. I just did.
I didn't realize that either. Maybe when I was little I did, and I watched the Proud Family a lot, but as an adult I was like, oh, there was a movie.
If I remember correctly, because now it's starting to come back to me. I think they got lost on an island. I'm pretty sure, like the whole Proud Family and like all of her friends, and Al Roker was there for whatever reason.
Al Roker was always in that show.
He was like the devil. he wasn't. He was like always the bad guy. It was really weird.
You're right. That's funny.
I actually did like the Even Stevens movie. That actually was a pretty decent movie.
I never saw that. So I've already mentioned this several times before. I did not have Disney Channel growing up. I watched regular broadcasting TV, and on Saturday morning, there was one Saturday morning that had a bunch of TV shows that were made just for that. They were never on the Disney Channel. They were just made for one Saturday morning. And then there was a section before that, I believe, where you had to get up at the crack of dawn to watch shows from the Disney Channel, and they would play reruns. Like me and Julia talk about all the time. If you wanted to watch Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and you did not have cable, you'd have to get up like at 7 a.m. or like, I don't know if it was Hannah Montana, but there was other shows, or there was, those Disney Channel shows, you had to watch them early in the morning. But That's So Raven they had on, and they just kept playing some of those over and over again. Even Stevens, I want to say maybe was on there, but maybe not. I remember the intro was at Claymation, so I feel like I did watch it. Like Lizzie McGuire was on around that time too, but I never watched the movie because that was only on Disney Channel, correct?
The movie? Yeah, I think it was only on the movie, but I think they actually put it on DVD too sometimes. Because they did a lot. They put a lot of these DCOM movies into DVD and put them out there. I don't think they did that for like the 90s ones, but once 2000 hit and DVD was becoming more accessible.
Like it would air, and then after the movie aired, I remember, because I'd watch a couple at my grandparents' house, you were able to buy them on DVDs. So like that's how we have a couple of them, like Cheetah Girls, and that's not with this list, but some of that stuff we bought because
that's how High School Musical got so popular.
By the way, we did a video for 25 Days of Disney where we talk about the High School Musical series, and we did it up against Descendants because Kenny Ortega did both of them. They're both movie musical stuff. That was one of the 25 Days of Disney before this. I believe it was day one.
Huh? Go watch that.
Yeah, go watch.
Everybody, go watch that right now, and then come back to this video.
Yes. Okay, back to this.
Mm-hmm.
I did not notice at all because, like I said, I didn't have cable. But Sweet Life of Zach and Cody had a movie called The Sweet Life Movie, and I believe that's what ended the series.
I never watched it. I think I was. I don't think I was too old. I think I just got too bored with it. I remember watching the first 2 seasons of Sweet Life, and
this
then
was going to be when they went Sweet Life on Deck.
Yeah, that was.
And
dumb.
then they had this movie, and they were older in this, a lot older.
Yeah, it was almost like this doesn't have anything to do with Disney, but it's like when they did Drake and Josh Go to Hollywood on Nickelodeon. They didn't have any of the really really funny jokes. It was more of an actual movie, and it was very boring. I didn't like it, even though I think Kimbo Slice was in it. Because no, wait, that was the Christmas movie. But they did the same thing with Sweet Life, and they did something where I think there was a government agency that came into the hotel and stuff like that. Very odd things. They jumped the shark with this. It was it was very very odd. It was almost like they were doing a Kim Possible thing. It didn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next on the list, I was a huge Lizzie McGuire fan because I loved Hilary Duff. However, I never went and saw this in movie theaters, the Lizzie McGuire movie. I never saw it. I don't think to this day I watched the full thing. I know I've seen clips of it, but yeah, that was actually in movie theaters.
Mm-hmm. I never saw it because that wasn't my kind of thing. My cousin loved it, but I just wasn't. I wasn't into it.
Did you watch the show?
No.
I think it's more geared towards girls. A very popular TV show that I loved watching on Saturday mornings was Recess.
Oh, yeah. This was. This couldn't have been a more perfect Recess movie, honestly. This is one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. I owned it. I think I had the clamshell for this one too. That I completely ruined because I was an idiot kid.
Did it get caught in your VHS player, Brian?
No, I'm talking about the clamshell.
The clamshell? What?
Yeah, that holds the videotapes. The big white boxes that would hold the old Disney videotapes.
It's just the VHS case.
Yeah, it's called the clamshell because it looks like a clamshell.
I've never heard anyone call that in my life.
Wow. and you're the Disney fan of those too?
I've never heard someone call a VHS case a clamshell.
So usually there's the sliding ones that's made out of paper and stuff like that, that you slide in and out, and then there's the slider ones. Then you have the ones that open up like a clamshell.
Yeah, the plastic ones, and sometimes over time they crack.
Yes, but that's why they call it a clamshell, because it opens up like a clamshell. See, we're also educational.
And from the words of Bill Nye the Science Guy, and now you know. I don't know why it popped in my head.
We should do an episode of Bill Nye the Science Guy too.
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Julia heard me into the other room. She goes, Bill.
I remember it was so weird seeing these kids out of class because it's recess. It's supposed to be in school, and they have to actually fight to get back into the school because they're doing experiments inside the school. I think the whole plot is that they're going to control the weather so that kids have to go to school all the time and there's no summer vacation. How dare they do this?
And this was in movie theaters, correct?
Yep, this was a feature film.
And what's weird is I had no idea that Recess had 2 other movies after that.
So those were how in the last episode we talked about how these movies got these TV shows, or these TV shows were from movies. These were spliced. These were like episodes spliced into movies. Like I had the Christmas one, the Recess Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
where the teachers are all piled into one car and they get stuck and they're freezing. Literally, this is how they go. It's the principal, Mrs. Fincher, and somebody else I can't remember. Um, and they're talking about different things that happened during the school year. Literally, this is what it is. Like I remember one of the stories was when Spinelli goes and stays with Mrs. Fincher for like a weekend, and she learns that Mrs. Fincher was a singer and stuff like that. So it's the whole thing. Don't judge a book by
Wow.
its cover. Um, the I didn't see All Grow Down. I didn't know that was a thing. Recess All Grow
Even though
Down.
I was a big Recess fan, I don't think I ever saw Schools Out. I don't know why. Just I don't think I ever did. Maybe we got it out from the library, but I never saw it in theaters. And I don't know about these others, to be honest.
I never watched Teacher's Pet.
I never saw it either, and I forgot that was literally a thing until I saw it online.
I didn't watch Wizards of Waverly Place. I do have a story about that where I was sick for a week and they were doing like a week-long marathon of Wizards of Waverly Place for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And I was literally sick for the whole week and I couldn't find the remotes to change the channel.
Couldn't you get
I
up,
don't-
Ryan, and click the buttons that were on the TV?
No, I was sick. I didn't want to get up. I couldn't move. I think that's when
Oh,
the swine
man.
flu thing was happening.
Mr. Brian, ladies and gentlemen. I did see this. This was one that I went, I want to say, I think, to my grandparents' house to actually watch this when it actually came on. And I loved it. And then we got it on DVD. And the weirdest thing was I didn't really watch the TV show because, like I said, didn't have cable. But I watched this because I love Selena Gomez. And I saw some of her films. So then I watched this first and then I watched the TV show. So kind of backwards. But I enjoyed the movie a lot. What's weird is I don't like when these TV shows do a movie and then it's like while the TV show is still going on and then they pretend that anything in the plot of the movie never happened. And I feel like with Wizards of Waverly Place, they did that. Anything that happened in the movie, it was like non-existent when the brand new episode came on TV.
So I think when they do that, because I happened with a lot of these guys, like the even Stevens movies. I think the only one it didn't happen for was the Proud Family and the Kim Possible movie. They filmed the final episodes and then did the TV and then did the movie, but they just released the episodes after the movie happened.
Could
so that's
be.
probably what happened. They did the Kim Possible movies, which I didn't see the live action one because I'm like, why would you make a live action one? I did see the cartoon one where she fights, where she gets into like this almost Black Widow-esque super suit, except it's white and blue instead of black and red.
Yeah, I never saw it.
I think her and Ron went to prom at the end of it. I think that's what the end part of it was, and they finally kissed because that's what everybody wanted for whatever reason. I'm like, no, just be friends because Ron's dope and there's naked mole rat Rufus. I didn't see the newest one because, again, why would you make a new one and make it a live action one? That's like what they're doing with all these Disney movies. I haven't seen the Phineas and Ferb movies. I did see, though, their crossovers, their hour-long crossovers with Marvel and Star Wars, which is really fun to watch.
What?
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Candace is a stormtrooper, and I think Doofenshmirtz isn't he's not a big time bad guy, but he's Darth Doofenshmirtz, something like that.
And see, I never understood, because I never watched it myself. I never understood what the big deal about Phineas and Ferb was. I know Ashley Tisdale plays the voice of Candace. And isn't that the Platypus guy? Isn't he from this show?
Perry the Platypus.
Yes. Everyone makes such a big deal about this, and I'm like the show and stuff. I'm like, I don't get it.
So here's the thing. It was almost like updated version of Josie and the Pussycats, if you remember that show from the 60s, Hanna-Barbera, where they would sing their own songs, go on really cool adventures.
I know
think
there's
they had a
chicka, wow, wow,
yeah.
heart
So
song.
that so it was it was a really fun show to watch. I was actually a huge fan of it when it came out, and I was like 15 when it came out. I would watch it all the time because one, Doofenshmirtz is hilarious. He's the best character in that show. Um, they do a lot of crazy things, like all the things they say they do in the intro, like giving a monkey a shower. They literally do give a monkey a shower for no reason, and they even say, "Well, we had to do it. It was in the theme song." It's very meta, but it's also extremely funny. I didn't see the movies. I heard they're actually pretty good though.
Yeah, and what's interesting is the one movie, Phineas and Ferb, the movie Candace Against the Universe, is a brand new movie that they made for Disney Plus, and this is years after they stopped making the show.
Yep, because it's still extremely popular.
Yeah.
But if anybody here really wants to take some advice, watch that Marvel crossover and watch that Star Wars crossover. They make fun of Star Wars so bad, and then in the Marvel one, they actually take all the all the superhero powers from Spider-Man and Iron Man and Hulk and stuff like that. It's hilarious.
So the next one, we got to talk about Mr. Brian's favorite movie on the planet, which is the Hannah Montana movie.
I forgot this was a thing.
Do the hoedown, pop that, lock that. Zigzag,
that's where that's from. Was this before or after she twerked on Robin Thicke?
What?
Yeah, on the MTV Movie Awards when she twerked on Robin Thicke.
Oh,
Miley Cyrus.
That was after. Hannah Montana was done a long while because Hannah Montana, that was a show that I watched it like when I was over at my Girl Scout leader's house growing up. And then I would watch it on Saturday mornings and stuff. But I actually saw this in movie theaters. And after this, they're like, Hannah Montana, I'm going to take my wig off and reveal myself. And then they're like, keep my secret after this whole thing. And the Rascal Flatts is in this movie also.
This movie's something annoying already.
They go back to the TV show and they still have Hannah Montana on a while, then they end it. But that's Brian's favorite movie, guys.
You know what's funny? I actually did watch the crossover, the That's So Sweet Life of Hannah Montana. I actually did watch that for a while. That was
cool. I feel like I've seen some of those. That's cool when they would do that, where they would bring each other into the TV shows and stuff.
I'm surprised. Okay. I'm surprised That's So Raven never got a movie, like a Disney Channel movie. I
don't know.
Up next would be DuckTales and the Treasure of the Lost Lamp. That was really cool. Because it's a full-length movie of DuckTales, which if you've never seen DuckTales, why are you watching this?
I don't know if I've ever watched DuckTales, Brian. Julia, have we ever watched DuckTales?
So hockey.
Julia wants to know if DuckTales is the one with hockey.
No, that's the Mighty Ducks.
That's Mighty Ducks.
DuckTales. Oh my God,
is DuckTales?
You're not a true Disney fan.
Is that DuckTales that makes that thing?
Yes. That's Scrooge. That's when they made Scrooge McDuck a legitimate, awesome TV character.
Yet again, I was deprived of cable as a child. I don't know. I didn't watch this.
Go to the library. You have Disney Plus now. Watch it.
I'm going to start singing something, but I shouldn't.
Don't.
I didn't know there was a Arthur taught us when we're little, having fun isn't hard when you got a library card.
Whoa. That was a complete rush of nostalgia to my head, and it hurts now.
It was an episode it was like all these music videos, and Brain sings Jekyll, Jekyll, hi, Jekyll, hi, Jekyll, Jekyll.
Oh my God.
But you said the library, and every time someone brings up the word library to me, I think of Arthur telling us that having fun isn't hard when you got the library card.
I can't believe that you brought that up. Oh my God, we need to get back on track before we make this more longer than it already is. I didn't see the Chippendales one.
Rangers.
Didn't see that one.
Me neither.
Didn't know that.
Next.
I didn't even know they had a movie.
Mickey's Magical Christmas snowed in at the House of Mouse.
I own this one, and I own the next one too, which is the Mickey's House of Villains. I own both of these. Because the House of Mouse was awesome because it was like new era meeting the classical era of Disney.
Mm-hmm.
I think they had a couple Christmas cartoons where they were specifically made for House of Mouse, and then they did the full length of the Disney's Christmas Carol, not the one with Jim Carrey, but the one with Scrooge McDuck.
Yes. We did 25 Days of Disney last year about Mickey's Christmas Carol. Yeah.
And then Mickey's House of Villains, which I'm pretty sure I broke that disc because I played it too much. Literally, I played it so much. The villains of Disney, which is like Hook, Maleficent. They even have the
Ursula,
basically Beelzebub from Night on Bald Mountain. All these awesome villains, they take over the House of Mouse, and it's a Halloween special basically, which has my favorite cartoons like Trick or Treat, where Huey, Dewey, and Louie go trick or treating and they find a witch, and they have the song. It's Trick or Treat, Trick or Treat, Trick or Treat on Halloween. I love that song. And then they do. It's not even a scary cartoon, but it's so crazy because there's a one where Donald Duck has to escape a escaped crazy gorilla, and the boys dress up as a gorilla to scare Uncle Donald. And there's an actual gorilla in the house. It's such a good show. Honestly, I might go and buy that so I can watch it again.
Well, that wraps up our list. We have no more to talk about. Of course, we might have forgotten one, but let us know in the comments if we forgot one. Let us know if you've watched these. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. We have much more days of 25 Days of Disney coming up. A lot more cool videos, and we even talked about one that me and Jennifer are going to do with George of the Jungle. So we will see you next time. Like, comment, subscribe. See you later.
Bye, guys.